All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Ephraim. Today's date is February 2nd, 2023, and I'm back at you again. This is more so a thinking out loud segment, more so than it is a teaching segment, right? Because throughout the day, I surf the net, and I come up on something or see a video or something shows up in my news feed on Facebook or something, and it'll spark an inspiration for me to talk about it or whatever the case may be, and that's why I'm doing this particular thinking out loud segment. Because any of you that know me know that I'm real big on relationships and husbands, wives, and giving props to the daughters of Zion and all these different kinds of things. And as a black man that has lived on this earth for 55 years, I mean, that's all I pretty much ever dated was black women. So, you know, um, my standpoint and my perspective is from that. It's rooted in that the fact that that's all I've ever dated, exclusively black women and black Latino women. Which are still black women that speak Spanish or whatever. But anyway, I came up on this one clip, man, on this one system. I'm going to play the clip for you all, but I'm going to tell you, to give a kind of pretext to it before I show you the clip. Um, what the sister said in it, man, I mean, it spoke to my soul. Literally, the last relationship I was in, I really thought me and his sister would, get married, this and that, yada yada yada. Um, but in a nutshell, my last relationship I was in, she didn't know how to step back. She didn't know how to take a step back. I mean, listen, as a man, I did everything that the Most High, would have me do in terms of, providing for her. She didn't have to pay any bills, everything that a man is supposed to do, I did, right? Um, and she was going through a lot, financially, whatever the case may be. Of course, I took care of that for her, all that. So basically, that's all well and dandy, but she never had a well, first of all, she's never been married. She's 50, what, 52, two grown young adult kids, never been married, I don't know. That's kind of a quasi red flag, just not really kind of getting into that, but it is. But either way, 52 years old, never been married, had a great job, been at the bank. She was a bank manager or something, whatever, for like 30 some years. And so basically, she was used to basically calling all the shots. She never had a man tell her, she had to kind of consult with or, make decisions with. So she was comfortable in that role. And the thing I never understood, because her father, he passed away before I had a chance to meet him, but she said her father, who was married to her mom, taught her and her three sisters to be independent. Now, why this man would teach that to his daughters, it's just beyond me. But of course, I'll never know because I never had a chance to talk to him or pick his brain. But she said that, obviously, her being the oldest of her and her sisters, she took that to heart. And so, she never had to consult with the man on decisions of the house or making just period. So she would always, and I told her, I said, look, I understand that, it takes a little while to get out of that mode. I said, however, I'm a man and I'm not going to fight you for my position. I don't have to tell you what I do. You know what it is. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to fight you for my position in the house. I said, now you might wear pants or whatever, but you don't wear my pants. And she would constantly kind of make decisions, like basically, to gate in my voice. Like, and I told her one day, I got fed up and I said, listen, I'm not a sponsor. I'm not a talking head. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not here to just, pay the bills and just, accompany you to your little whatever socially. And I said, no, nah, that's not how this works. Like you can't continue to make decisions without me under the guise that, oh, something just came up or a spur of the moment. Nah, you can't keep, nah, ain't no spur of the moment. You know what I'm saying? Before you invite someone over for dinner, listen, I'm gonna consult with my man. I'm gonna call you back because he may not feel like visitors or whatever the case may be. Instead of just making it happen, that I come home and I got people in my house and I don't feel like nobody. You understand what I'm saying? So it was constantly situations like that, man. And I found myself like I felt like my voice was somewhat negated. And I'm like, I'm never going to be negated or regulated to nothing. Because as a man, I stand up. I do what I'm supposed to do. So, there are gender roles. I don't care what anyone says. And in a marriage, in a relationship, in the house, there are gender roles. There, I said it. But before I go on and continue with this, I want to play this clip that this sister said, and this is what really spoke to me. And then I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
We find it funny how black women always want to talk about the black man, but as soon as the black man starts disrespecting the black woman, oh, well, he hates women. He has to be gay. Well, blame the mother because it is a cycle in the black community. If the father is in the household, 9 times out of 10, the black women don't want to listen to a man because the white people have taught black women you can do it on your own. You don't need a man. So when a man tells you to shut the up because he sees something that is about to happen and you don't listen, you run the man away. Nobody wants to listen. Black women do not listen. If we want the black man to be in the household, we are going to have to learn how to take a back seat and close our mouths. Me, especially. I had to learn the hard way. We run the men away because we've been taught to be so masculine and nobody wants to take accountability. Black women, you are the issue.
Man, let me tell you something. That sister right there was speaking to my soul. Real talk. I mean, she said some of the same exact words I've used in the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Like my ex-fiance, man, she did not want to listen. She wanted to do what she wanted to do and for me to go along with it. Nah, man, nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. Like, you understand? Like I respected her, as my significant other, you know what I'm saying? I was committed exclusively to her and her to me or whatever. So I felt in many ways without the paper, she was my wife because that's exactly how I treated her. You understand what I'm saying? Even though she would kind of talk this husband stuff, she didn't understand, even though, and that's the crazy part about it. Her mother and her father was married for umpteen years. Yet still she didn't understand and grasp the role of a husband. And I think she based that role on how her mother and her father did their thing or whatever. And it was skewed. It was very skewed, man. That's it. Listen, that sister, man, she spoke my life in the last 5 years because listen, I told her I'm not going to fight you for my position as a man. I'm that, right? And I proved that. So if I got to fight a woman for my position, then guess what? You're gonna be by yourself because that's what ended up happening. She ran me away because I'm like, listen, this is not how this is gonna go, man. I'm not a kept dude. I'm a man's man. I respect you, but I need you to respect me. You understand? And I'm not gonna fight you for my position. That was a recurring theme for me, and it's like she wanted to be the woman and the man, and she didn't know how to really take a step back. And it's like she was just too I would say she was just too. She always kind of wanted to try to get me to do what she wanted me to do. Like she didn't respect boundaries. She was, she just was too um assertive. Like, you know what I mean. She didn't really know how to be a like. Now, don't get me wrong. She was beautiful as far as her, looks and all that. And she took care of me, romantically and all that. But I mean, she wouldn't. I mean, she wouldn't. She wouldn't really like what do you call it? Like when you like affection. She wasn't very affectionate, like naturally. Like for me, affection comes naturally to me, but affection don't come naturally to everybody, especially if you weren't shown that as a child. Affection is not going to come naturally to you. So she would do things to try to please and appease me in that manner. But it's not going to really stick because if it's not you and if it's not a natural part of you, then it's not going to stick. In other words, you can try to do it, but if it doesn't come natural to you, or if it's not second nature to you, the behavior is not going to continue. So anyway, we got past that because I come home, she'd have dinner cooked, this woman served me breakfast in bed, all these different things, no problem there, no problem at all. But at the same time, it wasn't just based on that, in a narrow scope. It's like I told her, listen, I'm not just here to pay bills. Like I feel like I'm a sponsor. Like it's like she wanted me to do what she wanted me to do, and she wanted to do what she wanted to do, whether I was on board or not. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like if I had to, if I objected to something or whatever, I felt like she would she wouldn't really care if I objected or not because she gonna do what she gonna do regardless. And like nah. Nah, little mama, that we ain't doing that. And that's exactly what happened. That sister spoke, man. I'm telling you, it got to the point of like, what are we doing? Like seriously, what are we doing? Because if and one of the other recurring themes I hear about my brothers is that, oh, brothers ain't stepping up, brothers ain't handling their business, this and that. Okay, cool. But what about the brothers that is though? What about the brothers that are rather, that's handling their business, right? Like what about that? Because I know, because I fall in the latter. Because let me tell you something, man. She will tell you, even though it didn't work out, we're not together. I treated her like a straight up queen, man. Straight up. You understand? She just didn't know how to keep a king. She didn't know how to. She didn't. And I got tired of making excuses for. I got tired of, take time to, the woman, been making decisions, pretty much all her life and this and that. Listen, I get all that, but you're not by yourself no more, and you're definitely not in a position of taking care of your livelihood or whatever. So I mean, that's due some respect and some consideration right there. You understand? Listen, I got to talk to my man. He may not be on board with that, and I'm gonna have to get back with you. It's called respect. If you run in late as a man, I'm gonna call my woman. Hey, baby, listen, I have to make a stop. I know, but I'll be there. I'll be home about 10, 15, whatever. It's called respect. You can call it checking in, whatever you want, but it's called respect. When you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage, you respect the sanctity of that marriage. You respect each other. You don't allow anything to go on that's going to disrupt or disrespect that marriage, period, or allow anyone to disrespect that marriage. She was too, and then she was too, she was way too like family oriented, man, to the point where it's like I feel like I would always be secondary to her family, to her immediate family. Why? Because that's all she knew. She raised her two kids and her mother and her sisters. That was her world pretty much. I felt like I felt like an ornament basically. That's how I felt, like an ornament. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never fit in. Like there was things that it just wasn't me. Like I'm an introvert. Like I don't mind going places with my woman. You know what I'm saying? We take trips or whatever the case may be. I'm about all that, but I don't like being around a lot of people all the time. I don't like having a lot of people around me. I don't like a lot of people in my space in my household. She was the exact opposite because she's extroverted. And the bottom line is why we didn't work out, because she didn't know how to take a step back or step into a female or a woman's role. I felt like she wanted to be the woman and the man, and basically, just and me be okay with that. Nah, man. First of all, ain't no simp in my blood. Ain't no punk in my blood. It ain't no sissiness in my blood. I'm a man's man. I stand up and I do what a man's supposed to do. And at the same time, if you're gonna be my wife, you got to do what my woman, and my wife is supposed to do, and play your role and play your position and respect me as the man and as the lead and the head of our family, as I'm respecting you as my queen. You understand? She didn't understand that. She couldn't get that. So I want y'all, I wanted to share that because that I'm telling you that clip spoke to my soul, man. Y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comment section. Just be respectful. Everyone can feel how you feel, give your opinions, or give your, share your story or what you're going through or what you've been through. What it's been like for you. But I feel like in my last couple of relationships has been just like that clip. You know what I'm saying? I got ran away because I'm not gonna fight a sister for my position. I'm not. And it's like then the recurring theme for me for my last couple of relationships is they did not want to listen. Hard head, they just not want to listen. It's like, listen, I'm not going to leave the house and have to fight with society and fight with this and fight with that, and then come home and then have to fight with you. Like, nah, I'm not doing all that. Nah, that's just too much, man. So that I'm telling you, man, when I heard that clip, man, I was like, what they say, man, preach, sisters. I was like, preach. Because y'all be real, man. Even the sisters, y'all be real with y'all situation, what y'all seen, y'all friends, whatever the case may be. Do black women have a tendency to not know how to step back, or some black women are in fact too masculine or whatever, or masculine acting, right? Do they not know, when to speak up and when to be silent? Let's be real. I mean, no, like I said, we can say how you can say how you feel respectfully, but let's be real. Let's pull the scales back and say what it is, because I put mine out there. What that sister said in that clip is exactly what I've been going through. Okay, so y'all tell me what y'all think. Share y'all experiences in the comment section, man. Let's get it popping. All right, till next time, it's Dr. Ephraim signing off. Inshallah, elect.